Good afternoon, dear students. Today, as part of elective paper, I explain T.S. Eliot's Tradition and Individual Talent. T.S. Eliot is one of the towering personality in literary world. His plays, his poems, his critical essays have made him extremely popular, and his essays in journals have given huge scope for analysis of literary works. The present essay, Tradition and Individual Talent, is one of the prominent and significant essays with regard to critical analysis of works of art. It reveals critical stance and concerns of T.S. Eliot on different works, and it has been hailed as well as considered his most influential essay among his number of essays. While judging a work of art, what critic has to do is wonderfully revealed in the present essay, Tradition and Individual Talent. The essay insists upon taking tradition into consideration when formulating criticism. The present essay focuses on taking tradition into consideration while formulating criticism. It means while judging a work of art, one needs to take tradition into account. Unless we have history in our mind, you cannot properly judge a work of art. Or the traditions of ancient writers or past writers are to be taken into consideration while viewing or commenting any work of art. That's what we come across in the present essay. It is an attack on certain critical views in Romanticism, particularly upon the idea that a poem is primarily an expression of the poet, expression of the personality of the poem. So a poem is not an expression of the personality of the poem. It has a broader meaning. It has a broader sense. A poem can be viewed in different angles. Not only poem, any written work of art can be viewed in different angles. And we must take into consideration different aspects while formulating our views on a particular poem or a particular play or a particular novel. If you look at the poem from one angle, we cannot completely judge the work. A poem or a work of art has a multiple tasks, or a poem can be viewed from different angles so as to understand its complete sense of the author. So it cannot be viewed from one angle to make a comment. So we need to have a broad outlook so as to view the work in a different angles. Eliot argues that a great poem always asserts and that the poet must develop a sense of pastness of the past. A poet not only keep the present scenario in his mind, but also keep in mind the past. The treatment of a subject by the present poet and the past poet may vary, but while writing any topic, the poet must take into consideration the tendencies of poets towards a particular topic or attitude of writer towards a particular topic, because the past becomes a model to him while writing a poem or while writing a play. A poet or a dramatist can follow his own creativity or novel thought, but keeping the traditions of the past is necessary to make the work a permanent work, To create a value to the work, the writer needs to think his own way of doing things without violating from the past. There is a great importance of tradition in the present poem. Tradition should not be inherited, but should be obtained by greater labor. You see, a greater labor in the sense one has to go through the previous works, doing lot of labor, extracting sufficient information from the past. Without blindly following the traditions of the past, a poet has to labor, has to do work to learn the past, to learn the merits of the past, and adopt the merits, adopt the canons of the past to his present work. Past should not be altered by the present as much as the present is directed by the past. You see, past should not be the model for the present, and the present should not be directed by the past. In the sense, novelty or creativity is essential while keeping the past in mind. You can give a new shape to the past one in his own way, but without, staying away from the previous canons or previous the doctrines. In fact, tradition acquires a wider significance in Eliot's writing. Tradition, a method followed by continuous generations, occupies a significant place, a prominent place in T.S. Eliot's writing. Then it involves a historical sense that is really essential for any work of art. Historical sense is required. So generally, before before we discuss, for instance, before we discuss Mahesh Dattani Dance Like a Man, Hayavadana of Girish Karnad, we generally should have knowledge about the Sanskrit dramas. So as to estimate, Hayavadana or Dance Like a Man, we need to know the methods and the traditions or the rules adopted to the previous writers writing a drama. In the same way, we need to have a comprehensive knowledge of the history, that means history of any work of art or history of the great writers, so as to mend our ways, so as to keep our work of art away from the flaws. Then the historical sense involves a perception not only of the past, but also of its presentness. This sense compels a poet to write not only being near to his generation, but also to the whole literary tradition starting from Homer. You see, starting from Homer to the present generation, number of writers have come and have gone. When you are in the present, you need to be, aware of what Homer has followed, what Aristotle has followed, what Milton has followed, or what Shakespeare has followed. So when you know the history of these great writers, it becomes easy for you to make your work good, to make your work flawless, to make your work live for some period of time, to make your work sustain the popularity. What a writer needs is historical sense. Historical sense means the traditions followed by ancient writers has to be kept in mind while writing a work. Even while judging a work also, we need to keep the principles of the past so as to make a positive comment or a comment of worth. Yes, thus, to write poetry is to write with consciousness of the timeless and temporal and of the interrelation between the two. So, once a work contains some positive traits or positive things, or once a work follows the traditions, then its existence is timeless. It continues to receive popularity. It continues to enjoy significance. It continues to have the readership, provided it must have, written based on the canons of the past, or it must have kept in mind the principles adopted by the ancient writers. That means a writer requires historical sense, historical perception, so as to make his work, worthy. In any work, the past should be altered by the present, just as the present is directed by the past. In this way, present affects the past as past affects the present, because the present poets adopt the tradition of the past with hard labor. There should be a correlation, there should be a relation between past and the present. So they both of them must go together. So a poet who wants to be a poet of due recognition needs to have a complete association or complete bondage with the past, so that his literary works become popular, sustained for many days. A good writer or a poet identifies his position in the present with the comparison to the past writers. Therefore, the tradition of temporal and timeless is as whole tradition. Tradition needs to be keep in mind. The meaning of the poem is not possible in isolation. So meaning of the poem is not possible in isolation. It should be compared and contrasted. Not poet, no any artist has his complete meaning unless we link him to a chain of all poets. You see, comparison is natural. So greatness, you see, when two works are juxtaposed, then only we come to know the greatness of one work. When work is not juxtaposed and when work is not compared, the value of the work is not known to the people. So a writer should have a bondage, a relation with the chain of writers who lived earlier. So when the work of the present writer, when the work of the present writer is compared to the work of the past writers, then it is easy for us to distinguish which one is better and which one is not good. So to make a distinction between the present work and the past work, and what is required is historical sense is required. That's one aspect. The second aspect is a writer should have historical sense. In the sense, a writer should have a contact with his previous writers or his predecessors, so as to make his work good. And moreover, that one, understanding traditions, understanding the works of past writers is not as easy as writing a work in the present. So a tradition, if any writer wants to adopt, has to do a lot of labor. It means a writer of the present generation has to go through the works of his previous writer in a clinical manner, comprehend its worth of the book, and should have sensitivity to know the facts and figures, to know the immortal lines in the books. So when through tremendous labor, any writer gets contact with the past works, and it becomes possible for him to write a better work. So a writer needs to have historical sense, in the sense he must have bondage with the writers of the past, and he must also learn the tradition, adopt the tradition. Not as easy as we can think, but it must come through hard labor. So one performs hard labor to understand the tradition, one who exhibits his utmost patience to go through the writers, right from the Homer to the Milton or some other neoclassical writer. Then only he gets a comprehensive knowledge of what should be written and what should not be written, what was followed earlier, what is to be followed now. He understands only when he develops a correlation, a relation with the tradition. A tradition is nothing but maintaining a kind of a rapport or relation with the past writers. It means going through each and every line of the past writers, adopting the same tradition, and modifying it to the present requirement. Importance and value of any poet can't be judged in isolation. So the importance of the present writer cannot be judged in isolation. It should be, the greatness of a poet must be judged in comparison, not in isolation. So comparison shows, what is superior and what is inferior, which is better and which is bad. So comparison makes one work of art superior to other work of art. In isolation, you cannot judge the work of art. So to make the work of art, greater or smaller, what is required is historical sense is required. So there must be the tradition to compare with another. There should be a tradition. There should be a principle to compare one work of art with another work of art. So not only a writer, a critic requires a historical sense. So if anybody wants to become a good critic, he should have broader knowledge. He should have historical sense. He should have, I mean, impartial attitude. He should have broader outlook on different things. Then only he can judge the work of art without any partiality. In the same way, any writer wants to become good, he should have historical sense. He should have knowledge of the great writers. So if you want to have knowledge of the great writers, what is required is you must go through each and every work of great writers and through labor only. So not mere looking at the books doesn't give you any kind of knowledge. What is required is labor is required, hard work is required to know each and every aspect of the previous writers. When you know each and aspect of the previous writer or a perception of the old writers, what you gain, what kind of tradition they followed and what kind of tradition needs to be followed so as to avoid criticism from others. A critic or a writer needs a historical perspective so as to make their criticism and so as to make their work of art popular. Moreover, a greatness of a work or superiority of a work is judged based on comparison, not on isolation. So comparison makes the work of art a better one or a bad one. So this is about tradition and individual talent. So T.S. Eliot. Thank you.